when you look at the AFC, you look at the Browns with Deshaun Watson this year, playing a full season, adding a guy like Elijah Moore. They had problems last year. Everything was Amari Cooper. And yes, they could run the ball with Nick Chubb, but a lot of teams were hinting on understanding how they run their offense. They were running, and some teams would clog up and jam up the middle. And Nick Chubb, even though he had a very good season last year, he could have had a better season if they had another wide receiver on the other side that can make and obviously cause more problems in the slot. So I'm interested to see them. Here's another team I can't wait to see, Baltimore. I believe they are the best team in their division right now. With all the acquisitions that they made, OBJ and the weapons that they have all around, they have a great running game. Their defense is elite, and Lamar Jackson is now happy. Lamar Jackson hasn't been happy in 2 or 3 years. Now you give him the money that he wants. He will go out there. He will play hurt. I absolutely believe it. He would have played in the playoffs last year if he had his contract. I expect Lamar Jackson to have a big year. He will have an MVP year this year. He's not good. I don't know if he's going to win the MVP, so don't quote me on that. But that's what I want to see. I want to see these teams as they become more of a whole team, a.k.a. Baltimore, who's never had a real, besides Anquan Bolden, they really never had a number one guy.
No, they're horrible drafting wide receivers. They have to try to get these veteran guys past their prime later in their career, and it just only works for a little bit of time. Even Steve Smith was pretty good for 2 years there, but that was really it.
Yeah, Steve Smith was on the end of his career.
Right.
He wasn't the same player he was with Carolina.
No.
So I think Baltimore is a team that Miami's another team. Now, everybody says the Jets, and we'll wait and see with the Jets. And being that we're in New York, we're going to see a lot of different things. We're going to get a chance to see it on Hard Knocks. We're going to get to see it, obviously, OTAs if you go to the Jets practices. And I know a bunch of people that went to the Jets' first practice today and said that certain plays really stuck out. McDonald, again, looked really, really good on the field. Now, obviously, they're not wearing pads. They were just practically doing drills and certain things on the field, but they said he looked very, very fast, very, very confident, and he looks like he's long. He's long enough to be one of those elite edge rushers that the Jets haven't had since John Abraham. So I think when you compare and contrast some of the acquisitions some of these teams made, and then you look at some of these lineups and teams, the AFC is stacked.
Yeah.
They are. I mean, Cincinnati's expected to make the playoffs. Baltimore's expected to make the playoffs. Some people even have Cleveland making the playoffs this year. Then you have the AFC South. You have Jacksonville, who's really, really good. The quarterback really transitioned into that star quarterback they expect him to be. Now you have weapons all over the field. You have 2 elite wide receivers now. And you have a great running game. Tennessee added DeAndre Hopkins, and they have Derrick Henry coming back. I know Ryan Tannehill is not something to brag about, but their defense last year was elite before they got hurt. And that offensive line, before they got hurt last year, was playing pretty good football. So Tennessee, Indianapolis is going to stink. Houston is probably going to be a lot better than they were last year.
That's not hard to do.
But they will. And then there's the AFC West. I expect Kansas City to be good this year, even though they've lost a lot of significant players. But
they'll probably add more after training camp. They always do that.
Yes, and then there's the Los Angeles Chargers. I don't believe the Las Vegas Raiders are going to do anything this year. I expect Josh McDaniels to be fired sometime in the middle of the season, and I expect Davante Adams to request a trade. I could see that happening. Now, I don't think he's going to the Jets, and I know the Jet fans would probably predict that if he becomes available. They don't have the money to pay him.
No.
But I believe he's going to push his way out. And here's my prediction. If Davante Adams pushes his way out, I believe he's going to the Patriots.
That's interesting. Here's another team to watch, too. You want to stick it to the Packers, go to Detroit. They need receivers badly, too.
Detroit just added Denzel Mims. They like the young squad. I don't think – and Williams will be back sometime this year. He was part of the – was he part of the betting schedule?
Yeah, he was.
So he'll be back sometime. How many games was he?
I think he was one of the bigger ones. I think he was one of the 12 games or something like that. So.
But he will be back this year. I believe Williams will be back this year, and I think that's why they added Denzel Mims. The Jets did a swap for a 7th and Denzel Mims for a 6th next year. So, and Jeff told me they changed it a little bit. But, hey, listen, Joe Douglas got something for him. They were going to release him anyways.
Right.
For the fact that they got something for him was a slam dunk.